Throughout our time in high school, we go through many changes. I came to STA as a brace-faced, pale public school kid with an afro, standing no taller than 5'3". I looked up at seniors who towered over me. I couldn't wait to be one of those big men on campus. Well, here I am, an average-sized man on campus. However, physical change is not the only form of change. Changes to our environment and mindset affect us just as much, if not more. I hailed from the humble roots of public school in Apple Valley. All my friends were at the same school as me, and all knew that they were going to the same high school. But I was destined to go to STA because of my family history. I heard so many stories about my relatives and their time at STA that it felt like I had already been there. I was so excited to put on a uniform and call myself a cadet. Honestly, I absolutely hated St. Thomas as a freshman. I wasn't getting bullied, I was doing fine in my classes. For some reason, it just didn't feel right. I'd expected to be handed all these great memories on a silver platter, and I was ready to transfer back to Apple Valley for second semester. Luckily, Caleb Zwiefel, who was one of my only friends at the time, convinced me to stay. This was ironic because I had convinced him to go to STA just 2 weeks before school started. This was the first time I felt the bond of the brotherhood at STA. I was barely involved in any extracurriculars during my freshman year, and it wasn't until the Junior Gold U16 started that I really began to invest my time into the academy and the people involved. We were not the most graceful hockey players, but we created a bond with each other that allowed for a beautiful display of chemistry on the ice. I never played on a team with most of the guys, but towards the end of the season, it seemed like we had known each other for years. Who would have thought that skilled fast players like Nick Kettler could be paired up with forces of brute strength like John Herzog? Before every game of practice, Coach McCarthy would put a line of tape on the ground by the door in the locker room. He would say to us, "You're either in or you're out. As soon as you cross that line, you're in." Up until that point, I had been all in on STA. But it was then that I decided to change my outlook on the school. Junior Gold may have seemed like a joke to outsiders, but in all my years of sports, I'd never seen a coach put so much effort towards team building and hard work. Our goal was to get this much better every day. We had multiple team breakfasts on the weekend, which reminded me of the Christmas scene in Miracle on Ice. We were not competing for gold, but we were competing for each other. I didn't realize these cadets were guys with such great senses of humor who managed to do well in school, participate in clubs or athletics, and they accepted me with open arms. During the lacrosse season, Caleb Zwiefel, Bjorn Kylan, Giuseppe, and I would spend hours sitting in the locker room and talking. It didn't matter what the subject was. We just enjoyed the time we spent together. During freshman year, I wanted to leave school as soon as possible, but now I stay as long as I can. The lacrosse team had a very successful last season due to the strong leadership of the graduating class of 2019. We worked hard every day, but we also had fun. When the team was in the weight room, also known as the Iron Chapel, our war cries could be heard from all around Flynn Hall. Instead of scolding us, our young coaching staff, composed of former cadets, encouraged us. The humor distracted us from the pain we were putting our bodies through, allowing us to work harder than we would if we were alone. As the years went on, my social life gradually improved. I stopped resisting this change and I embraced it. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus said that change is the only constant in life. Not being able to adapt to change during my freshman year caused me to consider leaving STA. As soon as I started to put more into my classes and social life, I went from hating every day of school to enjoying every moment with my brothers. You know when you complain about not being able to do something, and your parents respond with, "Well, not with that attitude"? They're telling the truth. If you believe you're going to fail, chances are you will fail. I told myself I hated STA and that I'd rather be at Apple Valley with all my friends and that my old life was better, so I believed it. I refused to accept this new environment until I changed my mindset about it. It's the changes in our society leading to the changes we think. It took a while before I found my place in the society of the academy. One of the most important things I learned from this culture is that your mindset and attitude can be your greatest tools or adversely your greatest weaknesses. Finding humor throughout the day allows for every interaction with my peers to be enjoyable. A cadet could have hours of homework to do that night, but still have a positive attitude because they know their brothers are going through the same thing. STA is quite literally a band of brothers who look out for each other. Without STA's unique culture and hospitality, I would not be the person I am today. I would still have the mindset of that 5'3" brace-faced kid with an afro. Embrace the change, find the humor in the little things. Thank you, God bless, roll shop.